Hi, good to see you. Hi. Pleasure. Hi. Hi. Ambassador. No, it's my pleasure. Welcome. Very nice. Place never before seems like beautiful like today.
Summarize in one word, which is thank you so much. Thank you, first of all, for receiving us, for receiving the students, and to devote part of your time that I know is extremely busy to get the students know the head of state of Albania, a country that is given so much to them in only 1 week that they are here. Thank you also for giving us a proof of Albanian hospitality and generosity. In the 10 days that these students who came here on the 2nd of July have been here, they have already told me that they are impressed by the hospitality and how the families they work with and the children, and have been opening not only their homes, but especially and most importantly their hearts. And your gesture today, Mr. President, summarizes the quality of your people. And thirdly, Mr. President, through you, I would like also to thank, on behalf of the students and on behalf of the Spanish Embassy, all Albanian people, including your staff, who have helped us to organize this trip and to organize this occasion. As you know, Mr. President, these are 160 students, roughly, Catholic students from different universities who come devote part of their summer vacations every year to help others, the people in need, old people, handicapped, children, so as to show that in spite of their youth and their wish to enjoy and to go to have drinks, and so they also realize that all human being has a basic dignity and they deserved to be loved as they, as privileged from the bourgeoisie in Spain, have been given these opportunities and others not. They do also the same things in Spain during the winter, but in the summer they travel to different countries. And they also are taking the opportunity once, and that's I do it on a selfish way as Spanish ambassador, to get to know parts of Albania, of your beautiful country during the weekends. They've been already in the Tepelene region this weekend. They will go next weekend to Southern Island. And lastly, before leaving Tirana and going to Krakow to participate in the World Youth Day, they are going to visit the Valbona Valley and Feth region. So I think they would have a very good, even short, only 3 weeks, glimpse of the beauty, the diversity of your country, and realize that Albania is as Europe as Spain is, both Mediterranean countries. And I'm sure, I know that they will forge such a bond with the country and with the people, which would be unforgettable and would be much more important than what I humbly am trying to do to foster the relations between our two countries. I'm going to conclude now. I know you are very busy, but again, thank you from the bottom of our heart, and shumë faleminderit.
Madam Ambassador, for your very kind words addressing to my country and to the office of the President of the Republic of Albania. I would like to say very sincerely that it's shining this afternoon, this saloon, by your presence. And I would like just to say that because of the nature of the work of the President, we have to meet lots of people during the day, from morning till the afternoon, late afternoon. And we meet different people, including ambassadors, diplomats. But we do not have so often chances to meet the young people, you know, which is very nice and maybe the most inspired moments for everybody to meet, to talk with the young people. and to see above all the positive emotions and messages which come from the young generation. So I really can say that I'm happy to have you this afternoon in the office of the President of the Republic of Albania. But really I'm so delighted to see that such a large group of the young people from a very friendly country and very friendly people for us, such as Spain is coming in Albania and spending some time here in our country. I appreciate very much your embassy and your excellent ambassador in Albania. When she informed me, talked to me about your visit in Albania months ago, and I extended to Her Excellency my wish to meet you and to share some time in this afternoon. So really, I'm really happy to have you and to spend some time with you and delivering some messages. Of course, I know that you are prepared to hear from me good words about Albania, because I'm a president of this country, but above all, I'm a citizen of this country. I was born here, I grew up here, and I have decided to live in this country till my end of my life. I'm a parent, I'm a father of two excellent children that I have. I have a son, 21 years old. His name is Ercilio, seems a little bit Spanish name. And my daughter, she's 17, and her name is Fiona, which seems to be French one. But my name is very traditional Albanian name. My name is Bujar. I would like to emphasize this. In English, it means generous. But I didn't choose myself this name. Now let me to switch my speech in Albanian language because of protocol issues, but above all I would like to address you a little bit Albanian to hear how you do sounds Albanian language, which is Indo-European language. We have Latin alphabet in our language. It's not easy. Maybe somebody will start laughing to say because we have 36 letters in our alphabet, but completely Latin one. And Mr. Schwartz will translate you in English. Unë shpresoj dhe uroj që ju të keni pasur një vizitë këndshme deri tani në Shqipëri.
I hope and I wish that you have enjoyed your visit to Albania and you have experienced a pleasant visit in our country so far.
Jam I bindur që përpara se të vini në Shqipëri keni patur shumë pak ose as pak njohuri rreth Shqipërisë.
And I'm also convinced that before you set foot to Albania, you had no knowledge whatsoever or just a little information about this country.
Në fakt e vërteta është që në tërësi qytetarët europianë të vendeve të Europës nuk kanë patur shumë informacion rreth Shqipërisë.
As a matter of fact, for the true sake, in their entirety, the citizens of Europe did not possess any knowledge, previous knowledge about Albania.
Kjo për një sër arsyesh dhe faktorësh.
And this happened due to a series of factors and reasons.
Në fakt, shqiptarët janë një nga kombet më të vjetra të rajonit.
As a matter of fact, the Albanians consist in one of the most ancient people of this region.
Qyteti ku unë kam lindur dhe jam rritur është një qytet afër Tiranës, është qyteti porti kryesor në Shqipëri dhe ka të gjitha informacionet, ka dhe të gjitha artefaktet të cilat I takojnë një periudhë gati 2000 vjeçare.
The city where I was born, which lays close to Tirana and represents the main harbor of Albania, it's called Durrës or Durahium, contains all the information and all the old and ancient artifacts that date back to 2000 year its history.
Kemi një qytet shumë famshëm që besoj që ambasadorja ka vizituar, siç është qyteti Beratit, I cili është një qytet 4000 vjeçar.
We also have another city which is very famous, and I'm sure that Madam Ambassador has already visited. It's called Berat, and it's about 4,000 years old.
Unë shpresoj që ju të keni mundësi që t'i vizitoni në këtë vizitë ose në vizitat tjera të ardhshme këto dy qytete.
I hope that you will enjoy the opportunity to visit these two particular cities, either during this visit or when you come back to Albania in the future.
Por për fatin ton të keq, dhe të historisë son jo shumë bujare, Shqipëria ishte një nga vendet I cili mbeti në pushtimin otoman për më shumë nga të gjitha vendet tjera, gati 500 vjet, gati 5 shekuj.
But unfortunately, due to the not so generous history that we have enjoyed in the past, Albania remained under the Ottoman rule for about 500 years or for about close to 5 centuries.
Dhe Shqipëria arriti ta fitojë pavarësinë e saj vetëm në vitin 1912.
Albania managed to gain and win its independence only in 1912.
Dhe deri në vitin 1912, Shqipëria dhe shqiptarët nuk ishin të lejuar të hapin as shkollat e tyre në gjuhën shqipe.
And until that year, in 1912, the Albanians were not even permitted to open the schools in their native language, which was Albanian and is Albanian.
Në një kohë që libri I parë I shkruar në gjuhën shqipe daton të vitin 1555 dhe ka qenë meshari I një murgu shqiptar dhe ka qenë I depozituar në Sirinë e Vatikanit, patën fatin që gjatë vizitës fundit të Papa Franceskut në Shqipëri na dhuroi një kopje e këtij libri, pra që e vitit 1555 shkruar për herë të parë nga një murg katolik shqiptar.
At a time when the very first Albanian language book was written by a Catholic monk, a clergyman, and it was a liturgy. It dated back in 1555, and when His Holiness Pope Francis visited Albania, he donated us a copy, and we were lucky enough to witness it.
Pas luftës së dytë botërore, kur në fakt të gjitha vendet e Europës kishin shansin dhe mundësinë që të zhvilloheshin, të krijonin lirinë e tyre, Shqipëria për fatin e keq ra në një diktaturë.
After the Second World War, when almost all the other European countries faced the opportunity and chances and the luck to be developed, Albania fell under dictatorship.
Ishte një nga diktaturat regjimet komuniste më të paimagjinueshme në të gjithë kampin e Libjes.
It was one of the most mind-boggling and unimaginable communist regime in the entire Eastern Bloc that Albania lived under.
Unë nuk do t'ju tregoj histori rreth asaj kohe sepse është shumë e vështirë për ju ta kuptoni.
I would not go on telling you stories about that time because it would be very difficult for you to grasp and understand that previous reality.
Sepse edhe kur unë nis të tregoj diçka fëmijëve të mi, djalit dhe vajzës time, pasi dëgjojnë disa minuta më thonë stop, mos na thuaj më se nuk kuptojmë gjë.
Because even when I start telling stories dating back at that time to my own 2 children, to my son and my daughter, just after a few minutes that I've started telling them stories, they tell me to stop because they cannot listen to them anymore.
Por për fatin e keq e la Shqipërinë të izoluar dhe të panjohur nga bota, nga Europa.
But unfortunately, that dark period left Albania isolated, and our country remained unknown to the rest of the world.
Kur në vendet europiane flitej mbi Ballkanin, të gjithë kishin në perceptimin e tyre ish Jugosllavinë. Asnjë nuk kishte informacion rreth Shqipërisë, e cila ishte një vend I vetëm që nuk bënte pjesë në Jugosllavi.
When in the European countries they used to speak about the Balkan region, everybody used to mention the former Yugoslavia. Nobody brought up or mentioned Albania, who was an entirely separate country who did not take part into the former Yugoslavia.
Ishte një kohë e cila e la vendin të izoluar, të pazhvilluar ekonomikisht dhe tërësisht të dominuar nga ideologjia.
That was a period that left our country totally isolated, underdeveloped economically, and also it was dominated entirely by the ruling ideology of the time.
Let me to switch again in English because I would like to tell you a short story about this isolation. Through this story, maybe you are trying to laugh a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, I took part in a meeting dedicated to the Southeast European cooperation in Sofia, Bulgaria, because Bulgaria has the presidency of this initiative. And we gathered heads of states from different countries of the Southeastern Europe. And the president of Bulgaria organized this meeting in a former military caserne, which was changed now in a high-tech center. And the president of Bulgaria started his speech telling his personal story. When he used to be a soldier, he served in this caserne, and he told us that this time, it was the Cold War, Bulgaria was member of Warsaw Pact and preparing to fight against the NATO. And nowadays, Bulgaria was part of NATO. And he tried to explain a little bit about this experience in Bulgaria. I had a chance to speak the second one in line because Albania was part of Troika, of the presidency of Southeastern European cooperation. And I told the president of Bulgaria and the other president, your story, it's very interesting, but listen our story, because Bulgaria was part of Warsaw Pact, preparing fighting against NATO. But Albania, you know, smaller country than Bulgaria, was prepared at that time to fight against NATO, against Warsaw Pact, against a coalition composed by Yugoslavia, Italy, Greece, and later on preparing to fight against the China. You know, what kind of dramatical change happened in Albania when Albania was open and changed political system, not anymore isolated, but integrated in the civil world such the European area is. Pra, ja u tregova këtë histori për të thënë se sa shumë ndryshime ka pësuar Shqipëria dhe shqiptarët në këto 2 dekadat e fundit.
So I brought up that story that I just told you in order to illustrate how many different changes and transformation has Albania and the Albanians undergone during the last 2 decades.
Do t'ju them edhe një informacion tjetër I cili mund të jetë vërtet I paperceptueshëm nga ana juaj, por është shumë I dhimbshëm dhe besoj që ju mund ta memorizoni atë.
I would also like to share with you another piece of information which is truly not that able to be perceptive, but it is a very bitter one.
Në Shqipëri, gjatë kohës diktaturës komuniste, u ndalua me ligj besimin në Zot.
During the communist dictatorship in Albania, the religion freedom and believing in God was legally banned, forbidden.
Objektet e kultit përfshi kishat e besimit të krishterë, ato katolik dhe ortodoks, dhe xhamit përfshi ato të besimit musliman, të gjitha u prishën, u rrafshuan.
And all the praying objects, including the Catholic and the Eastern Orthodox churches, was destroyed and were ruined, and also the Muslim mosques as well.
Dhe klerikët të gjithë u dërguan në burg.
And all the clergymen serving at that time in Albania were imprisoned.
Ka pasur një numër të madh klerikësh të krishterë katolik, të cilët janë pushkatuar vetëm pse thonin që rroft Krishti.
There was a large number of the Catholic clergymen who were sentenced to death by being fusilated or shot only because they asked and lauded Christ the Savior.
Ishte ndaluar të festoje Krishtlindjet.
It was also forbidden to celebrate Christmas in our country.
Dhe ishte e rrezikshme të mendoje që Zoti është më I fuqishëm se gjithkush.
It was also dangerous to even think that the God Almighty was the most powerful above everyone else.
Pra, Shqipëria kaloi një situatë krejt pa imagjinueshme dhe të pakrahasueshme me asnjë vend tjetër.
So Albania went through such a situation which was unimaginable and cannot be compared to any other country.
Prona private nuk ekzistonte.
Private property did not exist at that time either.
Gjithçka ishte konfiskuar nga shteti.
Everything was seized, was confiscated by the state.
dhe mungesa e pronës private e la ekonomikisht Shqipërinë të pazhvilluar.
And the lack of privately owned property left Albania economically underdeveloped.
Unë e di që gjitha këto janë krejt pa perceptueshme për juve.
I know that all these things that I'm telling you, you cannot perceive or even imagine.
Por tani do t'ju them disa gjëra më të bukura.
But right now, I would start telling you certain most beautiful things.
Shqipëria ka ndryshuar shumë.
Albania has greatly changed.
Shqipëria është një vend antar I NATO-s.
By now, at the present day, Albania is already a NATO member.
Shqipëria është vend kandidat për të antarësuar në Bashkimin Evropian.
Also, our country is a candidate country in order to access the European Union later on.
Shqipëria është një vend I lirë, ku çdo njeri mund të besojë në besimin e tij. Është një vend I ekonomisë tregut që zhvillohet ekonomikisht.
Albania is a free country. Everyone enjoys the right to believe upon his religious, and we also have the market economy in order to economically develop.
Por natyrisht është një vend që ka ende nevojë për kohë për të zhvilluar dhe për shumë punë.
But of course, Albania is also a country that needs more time in order to properly be developed, and it takes a great deal of work.
Shqipëria është një vend I vogël, por është një vend I bukur.
Albania is a small country, but it's a beautiful one.
Është një vend I cili pjesën perëndimore të tij nga veriu në jug e ka një bregdet.
The western part of Albania, starting from north, going all the way down to the south, it's the coastline.
Janë dy dete që e lagin Shqipërinë, deti Adriatik nga veriu në mesin e Shqipërisë dhe deti Jon në jug.
There are two seas who reach the shores of Albania, starting with the Adriatic up in the north all the way to the mid-country, and then in the south we have the Ionian Sea.
Veriu I Shqipërisë ka male shumë të bukura, të cilat janë të krahasueshme me Alpet e Zvicrës.
In the north of Albania, there are some very beautiful mountains which can be compared to the Swiss Alps.
Unë shpresoj që ju një ditë do të vizitoni jugun e Shqipërisë dhe në jug mund të shikoni që mali është shumë afër me detin.
I hope greatly that someday you will visit the south of Albania and you will witness with your own eyes that in the south of our country, the mountain lays very close to the sea, to the shoreline.
Gjatë ditës mund të notoni në det dhe natën mund të shkoni dhe ta kaloni me një parti apo të flini në mal lart.
So you might enjoy the opportunity during the hot day to swim in the sea, while during the night or in the evening you might enjoy a party up in the mountains or even sleep there.
Shqipëria është një vend I cili mosha mesatare është shumë e re, është 22 vjeç.
In Albania, the average age is a very young one, is close to 22 years old.
Prandaj dhe kanë zgjedhur një president të ri.
That's why Albania elected a young president at that.
I like to consider myself a young guy. Por mbi të gjitha është një shoqëri vibrante, është një shoqëri që ka shumë dëshirë për përparim dhe për zhvillim.
But above all, the Albanian society is a vibrant, a vital one, and enjoys a great wish to move forward and progress.
Tani unë dua të ndaj me ju një pikpamje rreth temës shumë të diskutuar në Europë, ajo që është mbi Bashkimin Evropian dhe proceset e integrimit të vendeve tjera në Bashkimin Evropian.
Right now, I would like to share with you a viewpoint and talk about a very important, much discussed topic lately in Europe, which has to do with the integration to the European Union and of those countries who would like to join the Union.
Veçanërisht pas referendumit që ndodhi në Britaninë e Madhe mbas Brexit, ka një debat shumë të madh rreth të ardhmes së Bashkimit Evropian dhe idesë së Europës Bashkuar.
Especially right after the referendum that took place in Great Britain, right after the Brexit, there is this great debate about the future of the European Union and the idea of the integration.
Këtë konsiderat do ta dëgjoni nga presidenti dhe qytetari I një vendi I cili nuk është antar I Bashkimit Evropian, por që dëshiron shumë të bashkohet Bashkimit Evropian.
You will hear this viewpoint and estimation by the president and the citizens of a country who is not the European Union member yet, but would like very much to join the Union.
në Shqipëri ka një mbështetje shumë të madhe popullore për procesin e integrimit evropian. Sondazhet tregojnë që mbi 95% e qytetarëve shqiptarë mbështesin anëtarësimin e Shqipërisë në Bashkimin Evropian.
There is a great popular support, a huge one, because the polls demonstrate that about 95% of the Albanian citizens support our integration into the Union.
Dhe dikush mund të pyesi si ka mundësi pse shqiptarët duan të bashkohen Bashkimit Evropian kur ka shumë qytetarë evropian në vende të ndryshme që duan të largohen nga Bashkimi Evropian.
So someone might wonder and raise the question, why do so many Albanians would like to join the Union at a time when there are many European citizens who would like to come out of the Union at the time?
Dikush mund të mendojë që shqiptarët kërkojnë të vinë në Bashkimin Evropian që të përfitojnë ekonomikisht nga vendet e zhvilluara dhe të pasura të Bashkimit Evropian.
Someone might even think that the Albanians would like to join the Union in order to profit economically from the most European developed and rich countries.
Por unë dëshiroj t'ju siguroj ju që nuk është ky perceptimi kryesor i qytetarëve shqiptar.
But please rest assured that this does not consist at all with the main perception of the Albanian citizens.
And you know why? Because Albania people, being so extremely isolated by the other part of Europe, is the most rightly society which do consider the importance of being incorporated and integrated with the others. Albania people suffered a lot by having lack of opportunity to communicate on the culture of other countries, to be close with civilization of the European people, European countries, to be close to the possibility to learn and to exercise in our country the technology of developments in the European countries. So bringing experiences, including culture, social developments, technology, and many other things as a best model explored in European countries and bringing as a model to our countries. Because of that, Albanian people think so hard that being part of this very traditional, excellent and developed and civilized society, such is the European Union, all countries will profit, not money. I would like to assure you that Albanian people do not have perception towards the European Union as a commercial bank, to go there and to take some money. No. For us, it's extremely important the process of the European integration. The final decision for Albania or other countries, which is going to be a political decision for being a permanent member of European Union, of course, will be not so close to us. But for us, it's important that during our journey, our process, to profit by the civilization, by the culture, by the education, by the model of social models, economical developments of European countries, and incorporating these models in Albanian realities. We do have lots of young generation people who are studying in different Western European countries, in Italy, in Greece, France, Germany, United Kingdom. And always I have been so happy to see that all those who have been graduated there to be back to Albania, because they bring to us completely different kind of culture. They bring to us the high educated people, open-minded people, bring to us the European model of the daily life, institutional functioning model, we have to offer them possibilities and opportunities as a country, that they to find themselves and being real leaders of this country. So the process of European integration is crucial. It's more important thing for us. We know and we are cautious, we are aware that the process will last for some time because we have to prepare ourselves. The process means reforms, and to realize and to have reforms implementing in proper way needs some time. But we have to prepare our society, our countries, because as I mentioned, Albania has lots of resources. It's not a big market, it's not a big country, but if you compare Albania with other countries in Western Balkans, with Macedonia, which is our neighbor, with Montenegro, which is our neighbor, even with Bosnia and Serbia, which are in our region, you will see and you will find that Albania is the only country in this region which possess the petroleum resources. The others have no such resources. Albania has completed the west side of the coast. Albania is the richest country in this region on the water resources. We do not use properly yet, but the water resources still exist. And some European studies consider Albania the richest country after the Norway dealing with water resources, which is very important. We have lots of riches in mines in the country. The climate in Albania is excellent. We have roughly 300 sunny days in Albania per year. The climate in Albania is much better than the Greece, which is our neighbor in the south, and much better than in Serbia, which is our neighbor in the north. The climate means possibility to develop the agriculture production in this country. So we can organize the tourism. Of course, it's hard for us to compete the Spain, the Italy, or the Greece in the tourism at the beach. But we can absolutely compete any country in the mountain tourism, because the north of the country, it's a very nice one, and the tourist number which are coming from the Central European countries like Polish, Czech, and other, even the British, like very much to come for adventure tourism and visiting the north of area, climbing the mountains, which are absolutely very unique in this area. So this country has lots of potential and possibilities, and belongs to the people of this country to use properly and to manage in a proper way. And I would like to assure you that Albania will deserve a day to be a real member of European Union, but not coming as a consumer, but first coming as a contributor. Of course, Albania, because small country, cannot contribute too much in economical side, you know, but we can contribute in some different values. We are proud about a very important value which you share with your experience in your country and everywhere where you travel. I learned about your experiences, and I highly appreciate and I'm grateful on that. Such is the coexistence, harmony, and the respect among different religions. In Albania, we have different religions. We have a Muslim community, which is separated in two parts, in a Sunni and another it's a very Albanian unique, which is very liberal one called Bektashi. We have Catholic, Roman Catholic community, very consolidated one. We have Orthodox community. But I would like to say you an example from Second World War, which has been appreciated very much from the people at that time, and we have not to forget it. Albanian people saved from the Nazis Jew people more than any other big European countries. The number of the Jewish people in Albania in end of the Second World War was doubled comparing with the number of Jewish people when the Second World War started. The Muslim families saved and accommodated in their homes the Jewish people to save from the Nazis and putting in risk the lives of their children and sacrifices their homes. So it's a tradition in this country. It's a tradition to offer hospitality and the friendship to the guest. In our very traditional book, which before the independence of Albania, it was considered as a common law called Kanun. In this law was written in one of articles that Albanian people home belong to the guest and to the God. This is a very traditional one which reflects that Albanian people in entire their history welcome and believe to the guest and to the God. Had the same importance for the Albanians to welcome the guest, to offer some services to the people in need, and to pray to the God. And we try to preserve this legacy, to transmit it to our new generation. And we like very much, even being a small country and a small nation, to present and to transmit a little bit even among the European area to other societies, especially nowadays, when we are seeing and we are facing with some terrible and horrible things coming by terrorist group, by the hate because of religions. And we have to work hardly every day to promote such values of the helping people in need, offering hospitality to the people who are your guests, sharing the values with the others, respecting the others, besides what kind of religion he belongs or what kind of race he belongs. So Albania have this legacy. Albania has possibility to offer to the others this example, and we are doing very well this, and we try to do every day in different ways. And we would like to share, because your country is a very rich one, It's one of the most richest country in the culture and contribution in global level for centuries, even nowadays. So we have to explore more each other, to learn more about our lives, our culture. Albanian, it's absolutely, Albanian people belongs to the European model, European DNA. Doesn't matter what kind of history we had in the past, which punished a lot this country. But nowadays, we have to be more solidar with each other. And I'm really happy, and I deeply believe that during your visit, which it's going to be not a long while, you will have possibility to learn more about this country, which was unknown, undiscovered, even by our neighbors. You know what happened to me years ago when I used to be Minister of Interior in this country? I received a delegation from Croatia, which is not far away from Albania. It's in the same region. And they came to visit us, and I received them in a meeting. It was a meeting by the prefect of Zagreb in Croatia. And they visited Albania for the first time. It was 2009. And their first reaction to me was, wow, we thought quite different about Albania because we didn't know anything about this country. Our neighbors, huh? So we have to exchange such kind of visits and to learn. Yeah, Albania, it's not a paradise. We have lots of problems here. We have lots of problems here. But it's a normal country, it's a normal society which is working on, and we need friends. We need friends, we need partners. Spain is Spain considered as one main our partners and friends. We are not just the allies in the NATO framework, but we do have very good cooperation in many things. We have to strengthen this relation. And I would be very happy if you will come again and to visit the universities in Albania, the schools, and to see the young generation here. It's completely like a European one. And bring to this country your friendship, and to give from this country our friendship, because we have to face in common way such challenges which are coming and challenge us in different ways. I do believe that being united, being coordinated, being incorporated, being in contact, sharing views, sharing ideas, and addressing these ideas, we will be more successful on facing lots of challenges which are in front of us and will come again, time after time, lots of challenges. Because not only good people exist, even the others exist. But being united, being focusing on common organizations and common addressing processes, we can be more successful and offering more security for ourselves, for our future, offering more possibility for our prosperity. Our life, it's not too long. It seems to be a very short one. But we deserve to enjoy our life and to give the legacy to other generation for getting better and better in all aspects and sides of our life, our families. So you are lucky because you enjoy a very good situation in your country in terms of freedom, in terms of democracy. Please be optimistic anytime, because difficulties are there and will be always in front of us. No any time we will enjoy situation without problems. No. Anytime we will face different problems. But we have to be prepared. And we have to be courageous. Because I deeply believe that any time the human being, societies, communities, countries are stronger than any kind of challenge which face or challenge the human being or societies of civilization which we enjoy and we have to protect and we have to develop further. We as a politician can start talking and not stopping, but I would like really to say that it's absolutely a very special occasion for me to meet you and to welcome you and to say you hello and to have possibility to share with you some information about Albania from point of view of president, you know, which seems to be always optimistic. But I would like very much that you to visit Albania more often, and please, Ambassador, just take note that any time that this group of young people or the others will try or organize some other coming visits, I'm absolutely ready to organize more ceremonies and more activities, including the President office. I just like that you to remain with memories and good memories from this visit, and back to your country, full of inspiration, not just from Albania, from other countries when you are going to visit. Your mission, it's an excellent one, and I appreciate and I'm grateful for your dedication. It's not easy nowadays. It's not easy nowadays that the people to be ready and to commit themselves to share with the others the positive values and be ready to help and to assist the others. It's not easy in such a globalization situation that we face around us. So your commitment, it's an excellent one. It's a marvelous, and I really appreciate. And I would like to wish to you, everybody, to your families, to your friends, my best, and wish you being so successful in your life, in all kinds and dimensions of your personal life and professional life. And please do consider Albanian as a good friend of your country, and any single Albanian citizen as your good friend. Thank you so much. I have to say sorry, maybe my speech was a little bit long one, but we do not know to speak in a short way. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
For your hospitality. I would like to ask you about the judicial reform that is being debated nowadays and it's in the mass media, and how is it being developed, the polemic points. Can you explain us?
About the judiciary reform?
Yeah, the judiciary reform.
It's the main debate in Albania, in parliament, out of parliament, among the politicians, among the diplomats, everywhere. The reform on the judiciary, it's a need, because we need to improve our judiciary, to put this extremely important power of a society in the right track. Which means the right track, to be professional, to be independent, and to be responsible in front of Albanian society. So I do believe that Albanian politicians will take the right decision to do some amendments in our constitution and to open the door for implementation of the reform which has been foreseen so far. But we have to be carefully in terms that outcome of these efforts to be the real one and to be a good and positive for long term, a real service to Albanian citizens, because it's very much important for our partners, but it's essential for Albanian citizens. So I do believe that it's a process which is going to be concluded on a positive way, but let's see what's going to happen after the voting process to provide the new laws, because just to vote in Parliament some laws, it doesn't mean everything. It's important the implementation of legislation and creating the appropriate, the best mechanisms which will implement the legislation approved by the Parliament. So written things in the letter are important, but not everything.
People has given us, and I also wanted to ask you a question. You have commented the importance of joining the European Union, so I wanted to ask what challenges do you think Albania is facing, and what is your personal view on how will you solve them?
Yes, absolutely very good question, because we have to consider and to work in front of challenges that we have. we have to consolidate our way of the functioning of the institutions, which means reform on judiciary that we talked about it, financial mechanisms, economical development mechanisms, civil societies, media, which is human rights, field of mechanisms. We have to fight properly and successfully corruption. Sometimes it's not a dilemma, but it's a question to me between, in terms of worst things which exist, corruption and the lack of management. I'm in favor of the answer that the corruption is not the worst. Why? Because I deeply believe that if you have a strong will, very real one, you have all possibility to fight properly and successfully corruption. But the skills of management of your resources, it needs more preparation, more training, and more human resources management skills, which is a little bit more complicated than to fight the corruption. Because if you have a clear and strong will, you have all the mechanisms and you might fight properly corruption. I believe on that. But to create a proper public administration, efficient one, you need to select and to gather and to give possibility the skilled people, the trained people, the educated people. So it's a complex way of in a process of management. So we have to focus on all these fields. In other way, we have to invest more in education, especially on the elementary school, in high school, when the people form and create their personality. In the healthcare, I hope very much that my son, who is studying now in the medical school in Vienna, to come and to serve in Albania. I'm trying to encourage him and to keep this hope alive to him and to myself. So in the medical help and assistance and service, we have to invest more. It's one of my priorities in my view. The President Office has not executive power in Albania. It belongs to the government, but the President has a very, very big voice in publicly and in institution, or is a Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces and represent the country in international relations and things like that. But in the medical service, I'm so much focused, and I urge every day, everywhere where I can, as a public voice, as institutional voice, to do much more in this country. We have to do more, even in other very important things, such as football. We took part for the first time in the European Championship in this time. And our team, in my consideration, represented in a good way. Not an excellent one, but very, very good way. You know, next time, preparing for World Championship. And we are in front of Italy and Spain. Frankly speaking, I cannot say for sure that we are going to beat the Spain, but I hope very much to have equal results and with Spain. But we have to prepare very much on this, because it's a chance to have a match with Spain. But on the other hand, we have to prepare very well, you know, because it's not easy.
Thank you very much.
Have a pleasant stay here. Ambassador.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.